Are you truly happy, or are you just pretending? Have you ever wondered if the smile you wear every day is real, or just a mask you've learned to put on? Maybe you've never dared to ask yourself this question, but today, I want to share a secret that could change your life if you're willing to listen. What if you're missing the hidden signs that your soul is lost? What if your spirit is quietly calling out to you, but you've been too busy, too distracted, or too afraid to hear it? So many people look happy on the outside, but feel empty within. Maybe you're one of them. Maybe you've felt alone in the dark, even when everything seems fine on the surface, and your heart still feels restless. Today, we begin a journey that will take you from surface-level happiness to something much deeper and more real. By the end of this video, you'll see yourself and your happiness in a completely new light. Don't miss this chance, because maybe, just maybe, your soul has been waiting for you to finally listen. We live in a world where happiness is measured in likes, followers, and filtered photographs. Every day, we scroll through endless feeds of smiling faces, perfect vacations, and celebrations that seem to never end. We see people flaunting their achievements, their new cars, their dream homes, and their picture-perfect relationships. It's easy to believe that happiness is something you can capture in a selfie or buy with a credit card. But have you ever wondered, why do so many people who seem to have it all still feel empty inside? Maybe you've felt it too. You achieve something you've worked hard for, and for a moment, there's a rush of joy. But soon, the excitement fades, and you're left with a quiet ache, a sense that something is still missing. You laugh with friends, but when you're alone, the silence feels heavy. You post a happy photo, but deep down, you know it's just a highlight reel, not the full story. Society teaches us to chase after visible success, to collect trophies and applause, to keep up with everyone else. We're told that if we just work harder, look better, or buy more, we'll finally be happy. But the truth is, no amount of external achievement can fill the emptiness that comes from being disconnected from your own soul. The world rewards us for looking happy, not for being real. Have you ever found yourself surrounded by people, yet feeling completely alone? Have you ever laughed so hard in public, only to cry yourself to sleep at night? These are the hidden cracks in the illusion of happiness. We become experts at pretending, at hiding our pain behind smiles and small talk. We convince ourselves that everyone else is happy, so we must be the problem. But what if you're not alone in this feeling? What if the emptiness you sense is not a personal failure, but a sign that you're searching for happiness in all the wrong places? The world may celebrate the illusion, but your soul longs for something real. The question is, are you willing to look beyond the surface, to listen to the quiet voice within that's asking for more? Sometimes, the signs that our soul is lost are so quiet, so subtle, that we barely notice them until one day we wake up and realize we've been living in a fog. It's like living in a house with all the lights off. You know the furniture is there, you know the rooms by memory, but everything feels dim, colorless, and cold. You move through your days on autopilot, doing what's expected, but the spark that once made life feel alive is missing. Have you ever felt alone in a crowd, surrounded by laughter and conversation, yet unable to shake the feeling that you don't quite belong? Maybe you've sat at a family dinner or a friend's birthday party and felt like you were watching life happen from behind a glass wall. You smile, you nod, you play your part, but inside there's a quiet ache, a longing for something you can't name. One of the most common signs of a lost soul is a deep, unexplainable fatigue. Not just the tiredness that comes from a long day, but a heaviness that clings to you even after a full night's sleep. You wake up in the morning, and instead of feeling refreshed, you feel weighed down, as if you're carrying an invisible burden. Every task feels harder than it should. Even the things you used to enjoy now seem dull and distant. There's also a sense of drifting, of moving through life without a clear purpose. You might find yourself asking, what's the point? Or why am I doing any of this? The goals that once motivated you now feel empty. The dreams you once chased seem out of reach, or worse, meaningless. It's as if you're walking a path that leads nowhere, and every step takes you further from yourself. Emotional numbness is another hidden sign. You might notice that you don't feel much of anything anymore, not real joy, not real sadness, just a flatness that makes every day blend into the next. You go through the motions, but your heart isn't in it. Sometimes, you might even wish you could feel pain, just to remind yourself that you're still alive. And then there's the persistent sense that something is missing. It's a quiet whisper in the back of your mind, a restlessness that never quite goes away. No matter how much you achieve, no matter how many people love you, there's a part of you that remains unsatisfied, always searching for more. If any of this sounds familiar, know that you're not alone. These are the hidden signs of a lost soul, signs that most people never recognize or are too afraid to admit. But what if these feelings aren't a flaw, but a message? What if your soul is trying to get your attention, to guide you back to something real? Most people ignore these signs their whole lives. Will you? You weren't always this lost. There was a time when your eyes sparkled with curiosity, when you dreamed without limits, when you believed that anything was possible. Maybe you remember those days, childhood afternoons spent chasing butterflies, teenage nights spent talking about the future, moments when your heart beat faster with hope. But somewhere along the way, something changed. The world, with all its noise and demands, began to chip away at your spirit. It doesn't happen all at once. The descent into spiritual numbness is slow, almost invisible. It begins with small compromises. You say yes when you want to say no, just to keep the peace. You choose the safe path instead of the one that excites you, because you're afraid of failing. You silence your opinions, your creativity, your wildness, because you don't want to stand out or disappoint anyone. Each time you ignore your true self, a tiny piece of you slips away. Dreams that once felt urgent start to gather dust. Maybe you wanted to travel, to write, to start something new, to love without holding back. But life gets busy, responsibilities pile up. You tell yourself, maybe later, until later becomes never. The dreams don't disappear, they just sink deeper, becoming a quiet ache you carry everywhere. Unhealed wounds add to the weight. Maybe someone hurt you, and you never really forgave them or yourself. Maybe you faced rejection and decided it was safer to stop trying. Each pain you bury becomes a stone in your pocket, making every step heavier. You learn to hide your scars, to pretend you're fine, even when you're breaking inside. And then there are the routines. Wake up, work, eat, sleep, repeat. Days blur into weeks, weeks into years. You become a character in someone else's story, following scripts written by family, society, or culture. You do what's expected, not what's true. You stay in relationships that drain you, jobs that numb you, habits that shrink you. You tell yourself this is just how life is. But deep down, you know something is wrong. There's a pain, that words can't touch, a silent suffering that comes from living disconnected from your own soul. You laugh at jokes that don't amuse you, celebrate milestones that don't matter, and fill your days with distractions to avoid the emptiness. You become a stranger to yourself, haunted by the memory of who you used to be. What happens when you silence your soul for too long? The world may not notice, but you do. The colors fade, the music dulls, and even the brightest moments feel muted. You wonder if you'll ever feel truly alive again. This is the descent, a slow forgetting of your own light. But even in the deepest darkness, a part of you remembers. A part of you is still waiting, still hoping, still longing to be found. When the emptiness becomes too loud to ignore, we begin searching for something, anything that might fill the void. Maybe you've felt it, that restless urge to change your life, to find a new passion, to finally feel alive again. You try new hobbies, hoping that painting, running, or learning a new language will spark something inside you. For a while it works. There's excitement, a sense of possibility. But soon, the old heaviness returns, and you're left wondering why nothing ever seems to last. Some people change jobs, thinking a new environment or a better title will bring satisfaction. Others move cities, end relationships, or start new ones, convinced that happiness is just one big decision away. You scroll through endless self-help articles, watch motivational videos, and make lists of goals, determined to reinvent yourself. But after all the effort, you find yourself back at the same place, restless, confused, and still searching. We seek validation from others, hoping their approval will make us feel whole. We chase compliments, likes, and attention, but the comfort is always temporary. The emptiness returns, deeper than before. Sometimes we escape through distractions, binge-watching shows, scrolling through social media, shopping, or keeping ourselves busy so we don't have to face the silence within. But no matter how much we distract ourselves, the ache remains. How many times have you tried to fix your life only to end up in the same place? How many times have you told yourself, if I just achieve this one thing, then I'll be happy, only to find that the finish line keeps moving? The confusion can be overwhelming. You wonder if you're broken, or if everyone else has found a secret you're missing. But what if the answer isn't out there, but within? What if the search for meaning isn't about changing your circumstances, but about reconnecting with your own soul? The world tells us to look outside for fulfillment, but maybe the peace you're seeking has been quietly waiting for you all along. The question is, are you ready to stop running and start listening? Because the journey to true meaning begins not with another change, but with a return to yourself. Sometimes the turning point comes quietly, like the first light of dawn after a long, sleepless night. Other times, it arrives with a crash, a breakdown, a loss, a moment when the weight of pretending becomes too much to bear. Maybe you felt it, that sudden clarity in the middle of your confusion, when you realize that no matter how much you change your life on the outside, the emptiness inside remains untouched. It's as if you've been living in black and white, and suddenly, for a brief moment, you catch a glimpse of color. For some, this awakening happens in the silence after a storm. You've tried everything, new jobs, new relationships, new distractions, and nothing has worked. You're exhausted from running, tired of searching, and in that exhaustion, you finally stop. You sit with your pain, your loneliness, your longing, and you realize this emptiness is not your enemy. It's not a flaw or a punishment, it's a message. Imagine a traveler lost in a dense forest. For days, they wander in circles, following every path except the one that leads home. The deeper they go, the more desperate they become, until finally they collapse in exhaustion. In that stillness, they hear a faint sound, the gentle call of their own heart, guiding them back. The pain of being lost becomes the very thing that helps them find their way. Your soul's longing is like that call. The ache you feel is not a sign that you're broken, but a signal that you've strayed from your true path. It's your inner compass, quietly urging you to return to what is real, to what matters. The emptiness is not a void to be filled with more things, but a space to be honored, explored, and understood. This realization can feel both terrifying and liberating. On one hand, you see how much time you've spent searching outside yourself for answers that were always within. On the other, you discover a new kind of hope, the hope that you are not lost forever, that you can come home to yourself, no matter how far you've wandered. You begin to notice small shifts. The world doesn't change overnight, but your relationship with yourself does. You start to listen to your own needs, to honor your feelings, to trust your intuition. You realize that happiness isn't something you chase, but something you allow. It's not found in achievements or approval, but in the quiet acceptance of who you truly are. What if your soul is guiding you back to your true path? What if every moment of emptiness, every pang of longing, is an invitation to wake up to see the world and yourself in full color again? The pain you've carried is not a life sentence, it's a doorway. And on the other side is the life you were always meant to live. Awakening to the truth is only the beginning. The real transformation happens in the gentle, everyday act of reclaiming your soul, of weaving your newfound awareness into the fabric of your life. This is not a single moment of enlightenment, but a journey of small, courageous steps. It begins with self-reflection, taking time each day to sit quietly with yourself, to ask, what am I truly feeling? What do I truly need? Sometimes the answers are uncomfortable. Sometimes they surprise you. But every honest answer is a light switched on in a dark room. Embracing vulnerability is another key. It means allowing yourself to be seen, not just the polished, perfect parts, but the messy, uncertain, and tender places within you. Maybe it's sharing your fears with a trusted friend, or admitting to yourself that you're not okay. These moments of honesty, though small, have the power to heal old wounds and open new doors. Seeking silence is a powerful practice. In a world that never stops talking, Silence is where your soul speaks the loudest. Try sitting in stillness, even for a few minutes each day. Listen to your breath, the beat of your heart, the quiet wisdom that rises when you stop running. Meditation, journaling, or simply walking in nature can help you reconnect with the part of you that knows what truly matters. Honoring your authentic desires is the final piece. What brings you alive? What makes your heart beat faster? Give yourself permission to follow those threads, no matter how small or impractical they seem. Maybe it's painting, singing, writing, or simply spending more time with people who make you feel seen. These are not luxuries, they are necessities for a soul that wants to thrive. Remember, integration is a journey, not a destination. There will be days when you feel lost again, when old patterns resurface. That's okay. Each time you choose honesty, vulnerability, silence, or authenticity, you reclaim a little more of yourself. And you don't have to do this alone. Reach out, share your story, and let others walk beside you. Small acts of honesty can light up the darkest rooms within. This is how you come home to your soul, one gentle step at a time. Pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Let the noise of the world fade into the background, and ask yourself, am I truly happy or just going through the motions? This is not a question to answer quickly or casually. It's an invitation to look beneath the surface, to notice the hidden signs your soul has been sending you all along. Maybe it's the heaviness you feel in the morning, the restlessness that lingers even on your best days, or the quiet longing for something more. You don't have to have all the answers right now. The first step is simply to notice, to become aware of what's really happening inside you. Are there dreams you've buried, feelings you've ignored, or truths you've been too afraid to speak? What would it feel like to honor those parts of yourself, even just a little? Don't let another day pass in numbness. Life is too precious to spend it disconnected from your own heart. This is your invitation to come home to yourself, to begin the journey of self-discovery, one honest question at a time. You are not alone in this. Every soul longs to be seen, to be heard, to be known. Will you answer the call of your soul? Will you give yourself permission to seek real happiness, not just the illusion of it? The journey begins now, in this very moment. All it takes is the courage to listen, to reflect, and to take that first small step toward your own truth. Your soul is waiting. Are you ready to begin? True happiness is not a place you arrive at, but a gentle homecoming to your own soul. It is not found in distant dreams or perfect moments, but in the quiet courage to be present with yourself, exactly as you are. Every day, you are offered a choice, to live in numbness or to awaken, to hide behind illusions, or to step into the light of your own truth. The journey of self-discovery is not a straight line. There will be days when you feel lost again, when old doubts return, when the world tries to pull you back into its noise. But remember, every moment is a new invitation. You can always choose to pause, to breathe, to listen to the whisper of your soul. You can always choose to come home. Don't miss the miracle of your own awakening. The world needs your light. Don't let it stay hidden behind fear or habit. Your presence, your honesty, your unique way of seeing and feeling are gifts that only you can offer. Even the smallest act of self-acceptance can ripple out and touch others in ways you may never know. So as you move forward, carry this truth with you. Happiness is not something you chase, but something you remember. It is the quiet joy of being real, the peace of living in alignment with your soul. Your journey is sacred, and every step matters. Your soul is waiting. Are you ready to listen? The miracle is not out there, it is here, now, in the simple act of choosing yourself. Don't let another day pass in shadow. Step into your own light, and let the world see the beauty of your awakening.